Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with another video, and I'm going to be getting into the Bible today, and I want to talk about end time prophecy, and I want to talk about AI, the false prophet, the beast, and how artificial intelligence relates to end time prophecy, because we see this phenomenon just getting stronger and stronger all the time. And I want to show you in scripture where it really illustrates that AI is going to be a big part, a big player in the end times with the Antichrist, with the false prophet. And because AI is, really getting on the map, we know that the Antichrist is setting things up right now, and we're really close to seeing him, come on the scene, sign this peace treaty with Israel. So without further ado, I'm going to be jumping right into the book of Revelation chapter 13. And I believe that God has a word for you today. But before I get in and give this devotional and read out of the book of Revelation, I want to ask you to smash that subscribe button right now if you could. If you could subscribe and jump on board, it would be a blessing to me. And if you could also hit that thumbs up, that like button, it would really help this channel out, and I would appreciate it. So Revelation chapter 13, and I'm going to read verse 12. And this is what I was discussing in my last devotional about the false prophet. And so I'm going to continue on. Verse 12, it says, "And he exerciseth," this is the false prophet, "all power of the first beast," which is the first beast is the Antichrist, "before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." The first beast, we know, is the Antichrist, who had a wound in the head, a mortal wound, and he was healed miraculously. And Satan gave that power, it says, the dragon. And then in verse 13, which we're going to talk about a little bit more, I'm going to extrapolate from this verse. It says, "He doeth great wonders," this is the false prophet, "so that he maketh fire come down from heaven and on the earth and in the sight of men." So the false prophet's going to come into play here. We know the Antichrist is already setting things up. Some people believe it could be Obama. Some people believe it's coming out of Rome. I've had a lot of comments of people, and I appreciate your comments, saying that it's Donald Trump. There's a lot of different ideas and speculation on who it could be, but I personally don't know exactly who this is yet, but I'm watching. And whoever confirms that peace treaty, that 7-year peace treaty with Israel, according to Daniel 9:27, is the Antichrist. But we're talking about the false prophet right now. And the false prophet is going to be Satan's spokesperson. He's going to speak on behalf of the devil and on behalf of the Antichrist. And he's going to come, he's going to try to act magnanimous, and he's trying to act all righteous. He's going to bring a religion in. It's going to be a one world religion. This religion that he's going to bring in is going to it's not going to be something that's going to be biblical whatsoever. It's going to be replacing Christianity for its own religion. And they're going to persecute Christians, this religion. And I believe it's a religion that everybody's going to be getting involved in. They're going to be welcomed in it. All opinions, everybody's going to come together. And it's going to be a one-world religion. Some people believe it's Islam. Some people think it's out of Rome or the Catholic Church. Other people think it's, like the Laodicean church, a watered-down church. But it's going to be a one-world religion. And the false prophet's going to promote this. And he's going to also be involved with political. He's going to be also involved in political endeavors. How do I know? Because the Antichrist is going to rule over 10 nations. So there's going to be a political aspect to this as well. That's what the two horns represent. The two horns represent political authority and spiritual authority. And this is what the false prophet's doing. And he says he's going to do a miracle. Revelation 13, verse 13, he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And they're going to see this and be, whoa, look at the miracle. He is God. Let's worship. let's worship the beast, the Antichrist, the false prophet. And you know what? The two witnesses in Revelation chapter 11, verse 5, it says exactly what they did. It was similar. And the devil and the Antichrist, they're all imposters. But look what it says in Revelation 11, verse 5, the two witnesses. It says, if any man will hurt the two witnesses, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoureth their enemies. You see this? So the false prophet's trying to do the exact same thing, to try to impersonate and try to be like God and his people. You know, that's the unholy trinity, the dragon, which is the devil, the Antichrist, which is the beast, and the false prophet. This is the unholy alliance. Now look what it says in verse 14. And it says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. He's calling fire down, which he hath power to do in the sight of the beast. He was doing that in front of the Antichrist, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. That image, I believe, is AI. AI is already being used so much. You see it on different social media platforms. You see famous people and AI is putting words right in their mouth. They sound exactly like them, but you know it's not them. AI is really deceptive in a lot of ways. You see, cats giggling with babies, and you see zebras, beating up lions. It's not real. You see people jumping off certain buildings and falling into a body of water and all of this splash. This is all AI generated stuff. And some of it you can see, but it's going to be more sophisticated over time. Now they have AI robots. They're trying to do dating apps with AI. This is unbelievable. There's life to this image. And I believe AI is part of it. It says you have to worship the beast. And look what it says in verse 15. They had to worship the image of the beast. And it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. There's power to give life unto the beast. Look at this AI right here. It's right here. We're seeing it right in front of us right now. And it's very deceptive. And you have to worship this image or else you are going to be killed. That's what it says right there. And what is the image? That's the image of the beast, the mark of the beast, 666. We see what happened literally 5 years ago. This was a pre-trial. This was like a test run is what it was. Let's test this out. You couldn't go into stores unless you had a certain thing. You couldn't buy, you lose your job if you didn't have this certain thing that I don't want to mention here on this platform, but it was mandatory in a lot of places. That was just a setup for what's coming. The mark of the beast is coming. And AI, life is coming to this beast. And this is why you see this happening with Elon Musk and Donald Trump and all these other nations. They're working with AI to get it up to speed because the Antichrist is close. He is coming. He is coming quickly. And we need to be ready because this is all being prepared right now. The scriptures talk about it. Let me read it one more time. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. It's going to talk. What do you think AI generated videos are doing? They're speaking like it's life. Robots are speaking. And cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. You got to worship the beast, the devil, the Antichrist. The mark of the beast is coming. Persecution's coming. It's arising more and more. We see this happening. And we know, I believe the Antichrist is on the earth right now. Again, a lot of people are going to guess Prince Charles. They're going to say Donald Trump. They're going to say Obama. We need to watch what's going on in the Middle East and see before we can 100% know who is the one who's going to confirm that peace treaty, because the abomination of desolation is going to happen in the middle of the tribulation. And here's another thing it says about the beast. If you don't worship him, you are going to be killed. What's going to happen? It says in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 15, when you shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of in the book of Daniel, the prophet. It says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1 through 3, it talks about how that day will not come until there's a falling away and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who's going to go in the temple and want to be worshiped as God. It's the abomination of desolation. Here, AI, the beast, that has to be set up. That AI has to be set up before the Antichrist steps in. We know it's near because it's already here. And the AI is going to have life, and they're going to have to worship this image, AI. You're going to have to worship the Antichrist, or you will be killed. You have to take the mark. It's going to be mandatory. It's all here in Scripture. We just need to be ready because I think we're really getting close. So keep your eyes up. Jesus is coming soon. If this devotion blessed you, I ask you to put a comment below, and God bless you as you continue to follow him. And thank you for watching.